Yes, what I wanted to say was I think this inauguration is obviously important for each and every one of our citizens, as it's a very peaceful transition of power. I just hope that with this whole election season that people take an interest in politics and do some of the research actually, and talk more with the people around you on policies and issues, because that's the best way when it comes to creating dialogue that can actually create solutions that benefit the majority of us instead of, dragging into the itty-bitty. So I hope that that the inauguration goes well, and I hope that people actually take the time to be more civically engaged. Thank you.
From Zachary, who is in Iowa, Republican line. You're next up. Hello.
Good morning. I would like to thank C-SPAN, first of all, for broadcasting this momentous day in America. It's a truly good day to be an American. There's a few things I want to hear from Donald Trump today during his inauguration speech. I would like to hear a little tidbit of what his stance is on the continuation of the ceasefire between Israel and Palestine. I would also like to hear what his stance is going to be on Skibidi Toilet and the war with Howard's.
Richard in South Carolina, Democrats line. You're next up on this Inauguration Day coverage. Go ahead.
Hi. I probably want to answer a question that a lady raised about Biden saying 100% of funds for the fires out in California. I don't know what she meant by that, but I would assume it does not include getting a new house for everybody. I think there will be funds for the reconstruction of some of the systems that they have, and there will be loan guarantees. But I don't think you should interpret his statement of 100% as something that's going to happen. My second point, a gentleman just called to say, from the Republican line, a gentleman just called to say that he was proud of today's ceremony, as I too am proud. My question would be, was he as proud 4 years ago when that transition took place? I'd have to get an answer from him, because I think he'll probably say, oh, yeah, I was proud of that too. Thank you for your call. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You can continue on calling on the following lines. Democrats 202-748-8000. Republicans 202-748-8001. Independents 202-748-8002. More exits from the White House. We'll watch the First Lady and the incoming First Lady come out. We'll see more of those exits as the morning progresses, as all head on to the U.S. Capitol. Let's hear from Rayson in Tennessee, Republican line. Hello.
Hey, hello. My name is Rayson Robertson, Pulaski, Tennessee. I just want to say happy Martin Luther King Day. And I wanted to say that it's a great day for, just mostly all of America for, just Donald Trump winning. I'm really happy that he won, and there's a lot of reasons that I could be happy. I don't really think there's enough time to list them all, but I just wanted to be happy for a peaceful transition into power, and that everyone's, being civil about this, and there isn't a big, fight or issue going wrong, and everyone can, be happy that it was a nice transition of power.
From Joe in Maryland, Independent line.
Hey, down here in Chapticot, Maryland. Yes, sir. Pedro, good morning. Thank you for all your work. Two questions for you, and then a real quick statement, too, Pedro. You called Steny Hoyer the former congressman. Is he a former congressman now? I'm not being facetious. Did he lose, or is he still in there?
He's a former congressman, yes.
Wow, he's out now? I did not know that. And you called Doug Emhoff the first gentleman. And is he the first gentleman or the second? How does that work?
The second gentleman probably misspoke in the sense that, or the first gentleman, yeah.
Okay. I'm just being a stickler, having fun with you, brother. Real quick, today's MLK Day and Inauguration Day. There's no
well,
one
let me
day
pause
better-
you for a second, Joe, and as we watch the vice president and the incoming vice president come out.
Very well, thank you.
Great, thank you. Good morning. Stay warm.
Thank you, sir.
This is part of the process of those leaving the White House to head to the Capitol. We're still on with Joe. Joe, I apologize. I believe I misspoke. Steny Hoyer is still in Congress. I think I misspoke on that part.
Oh, wow. You know what? I apologize for even talking about stuff like the first gentleman and second and third.
No, it's okay. No, it's good to be accurate. Go ahead and finish.
Well, funny, and it doesn't come across as funny, and it probably made you feel a certain way, and I feel so bad even talking about it because you are perfect, brother, and I mean that, and aren't we all? But that said, never mind with Steny Hoyer, one day, right, it will be former congressman, so nevertheless, you would think that by now, actually, but that might have been a Freudian fact. But, yeah, the Trump, today's inauguration, today's MLK Day, and they are both special days for all of us. Don't be picking one over the other. But truth be known, because of our inauguration days, we have MLK Day. And I am supposed to be at the Metropolitan AME Church right now. I have a press pass to be there up on the balcony. But I have to go clean dryer vents instead today, and I understand that. And anyway, Pedro, I love everybody. Peace be with all of us, please. And we can make it that way. And
Okay. Let's go to Democrats line. Eileen in Florida. Good morning.
Good morning. As I'm watching the inauguration, the peaceful transition of power, I'd like to remind all the listeners on all sides of the aisle that 4 years ago, Trump was too coward to attend Joe Biden's inauguration. He didn't go. Melania didn't go because they cried for 4 years that they won, but they didn't show up for Joe's inauguration. And if you remember when Trump won in 2016, even though Obama was criticized and called names and accused of not being a legitimate president, he showed up for Trump's inauguration. So it just shows you how petty Trump is and what a true American and patriot Joe Biden and Jill Biden are. And I just wanted to remind everybody that Trump did not show up 4 years ago. And that's important. It should be important for all Americans because he lost. Poor loser. Didn't show up. And here's Joe Biden, attending his inauguration like true patriot. That's all I have to say today. And go out and celebrate. I'm on my way to Martin Luther King Parade in downtown St. Petersburg, Florida, even though it's 47 degrees here. And I do want to say one last thing. I'm sorry. I think Trump had his inauguration inside today because he was afraid that the small crowds, because of the cold weather, wouldn't show up.
Okay.
Anyway,
let's hear from Ryan. Ryan in Mississippi, Republican line.
Good morning. Happy Inauguration Day. Happy MLK Day. I just wanted to make a reference to the independent gentleman earlier who was talking about his complaints about pomp and circumstance and Thomas Jefferson rolling over in his grave. For the listeners at home, Thomas Jefferson was president of the Senate in 1800 when they approved to use the Capitol building as a church grounds. And when he wrote his letter about separation of church and state, he attended a church service within the next several days in the Capitol building. Other than that, God bless America and God bless the
Okay, caller, I'll put you on pause as we watch the president and the president-elect. So now loaded into the beast, as it's commonly known as, the president and the president-elect, heading off to the U.S. Capitol to the start of the inauguration ceremonies in just a little while from now. We'll let you watch the cars roll out, and as we do that, we'll go to Mallory. Mallory, who is in Virginia, Democrats line. Hello.
Hi, thank you. I just wanted to say thank you, C-SPAN, for hosting today's inauguration ceremony, and I'm just hoping for a peaceful transfer of power today, like everyone else is hoping for, and also really hoping that people recognize today as Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and that hopefully President-elect Trump will make a comment about that, and also hopefully speaking about what he plans to do about the ceasefire. But yeah, and happy Inauguration Day, and hoping for a peaceful day.
You probably saw on your left-hand side of your screen, viewers, very quickly Elon Musk within the Capitol building, the rotunda there, as the dignitaries walk in to take their seats. This is Kate in New York, Independent Line.
Oh, hi. This is Kate from New York. Thank you so much for providing a platform for us to have these conversations. I just wanted to say, as a millennial, I am very disappointed and disheartened about the influence of money in politics. Speaking of Elon Musk, these issues affect us. They will continue to affect my generation and generations after me. We have to keep making this world a better place, not a richer place for the 1%. Please, millennials, vote better. Convince Gen Z to vote better. Please, we need to reclaim our democracy and ensure that the government reflects the will of the people, not the richest donors. Transparency, accountability, and reform are essential now, not later. Take action now. That's all.
That was Kate, New York. As you watch the drive along the street, you'll notice that not only is the car that contains the president and the president-elect surrounded by security, but security lining the streets as well. Earlier, we showed you the streets of Pennsylvania Avenue being lined up by lawmen and law enforcement. That's all part of the process as the two gentlemen in the car head to the U.S. Capitol. And this is Andrew, California, Republican line. Hi.
Yeah, this is Andrew Garcia from California. I would just like to say thank you to President Biden, and I'm hopeful for the next 4 years with President Trump, and I'm proud to be an American. God bless America.
The newly minted Senator from California, Adam Schiff, on the left-hand side of your screen, taking his seat. The motorcade still riding along on the right. Nathan up next. He's in Watertown, New York. Democrats line. Hi.
First of all, happy Martin Luther King Day, a day that was enshrined because of the history of progress in this country that I believe is coming to a halt. I wanted to address a gentleman on the Republican line that said earlier that the Founding Fathers would be proud which I don't understand where they get that, because they're fighting a world superpower instead of bowing down and letting billionaires run their administration. I fear the progress of this country, but I hope him the best because of the position. But I guess that's all I have to say. God bless America, and hopefully the next 4 years aren't as scary as everyone thinks they're going to be.
Jacob joined us from Ohio, Independent Line.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, earlier I heard someone say that they didn't like that there were priests and religious people. I actually think that's the best part of all this. Catholicism is true. Pope Francis will take over the country. Very based, very epic. I wish I could have voted for Trump, but, sadly he wasn't Catholic enough for me. Maybe the candidate next time will be, although I do appreciate all the Catholic stuff that is present at this inauguration.
That is Jacob joining us from Ohio. Just to show you a headline from the Associated Press from earlier today on this inauguration day, it was Pope Francis making comments about the president-elect, particularly his plans for mass deportation of immigrants, saying that he called it a disgrace as he weighed in on the incoming U.S. president's pledges nearly a decade after calling him, quote, not Christian for wanting to build a wall along the U.S.-Mexican border. Francis made the comments during an appearance at an official telegram, or made an appearance on a podcast, I believe. So that's just a story from the Associated Press. Let's go back to John McCardle.
Pedro, a minute or two before Donald Trump gets up here to Capitol Hill and will arrive at the United States Capitol, I wanted to show viewers what the program looks like on the seats in the rotunda where all the members are gathering. The Twitter image of that program, one of those programs today, laying out the musical prelude from the University of Nebraska Lincoln, combined choruses, the call to order. We'll hear, of course, the swearing in of the vice president and the president. There'll be more musical accompaniments. The Battle Hymn of the Republic will be played. It's going to be quite a ceremony here in just a few minutes. Of course, the president will end with his inaugural address, and some excerpts of the inaugural address already being released. The president will say, in part, I return to the presidency confident and optimistic that we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success. A tide of change is sweeping the country. Rachel Scott of ABC News tweeting out some of the snippets of that inaugural address. One more tweet for you. This from Mike Pence, noting that he is going to attend the inauguration of the president, saying this is a day when every American does well to celebrate our democracy and the peaceful transfer of power under the Constitution of the United States. And then, Pedro, you showed Vivek Ramaswamy in the rotunda there, the co-leader of DOJ, though not expected to be at the Department of Government Efficiency for too much longer. At least that's the reporting this morning. This is the headline from Politico, noting that Ramaswamy is set to leave DOJ, and it's CBS News noting that he's expected to soon step away from the task force. He intends to announce a campaign for Ohio governor as soon as the end of January, according to multiple sources and multiple outlets reporting that Vivek Ramaswamy, 39 years old, he will be in attendance today at the Capitol Rotunda.
Let's hear from Dakota in New York, Republican Line.
Hello, I just wanted to say happy Martin Luther King Day, and I think for a lot of us, this is a very good day. It's a historic day. I want to wish President Trump and everybody else involved a safe day, and that is what I have for now, and thank you for taking my call.
The motorcade rolling on towards the U.S. Capitol, that car you see containing the president and the president-elect as they make their way. Someone who's been out and about today, Tammy Thuringer, talking with people. Tammy, hello.
Here we go. Hi, Pedro. Still cold out here. We're making our way around. The crowd to get into the arena is on the other block from here, but we found another line of people. They're just trying to get in to part of the city that is sectioned off. You've probably seen those images of the black fencing around the city. There's more of it here. But Josh is a resident of D.C. He's trying to get back into a city. Josh, how did you end up on this side of the fence today?
We tried to walk and go through the inauguration, but that was completely filled, and so we just tried to get back to the apartment, but so many streets were blocked off and fenced off that we found our way into this line to just cross over to get to the street that we need to get to, and so that's how we got here today.
And once you get on the other side, what's your plan?
We're gonna go get a drink, gonna go find a bar, get a drink, and then head back to the crib and just kind of defrost and get a little bit of the warmth back in our bones.
You said that you had left your house this morning at 6:30, hoping to get into the arena. Why did you want to go to the inauguration?
Because it's the inauguration of a president, and that's a very historic event. It's something that I personally never been able to see. And so now that I live in D.C., I've been in D.C. for a couple of years now. This is the first time they've had an inauguration. So I was like, of course, if I can go and see something like that, I'm going to want to.
President-elect Trump is busy right now. He just left the White House. They're on their way to the Capitol. But if you were watching this and you could give him a message, something you want him to focus on during his next term, what would you say?
I would say, one, stay warm. It's cold out here, so that's my number one advice for him. And two, this might be a little personal, but try to work on bringing down some of the prices that we have going on in our economy right now. Groceries are expensive, rent is expensive, and I don't know what his exact economic plans are, but if he can do something with the policy in order to kind of help bring down the prices of things so that people can go back to being able to afford a full cart of groceries, that will be something I think he needs to focus on and work on.
Josh, thank you so much.
Of course, thank you. Appreciate it.
The Capital One Arena is. That's where people are lining up to become part of that watch party. You saw it last night if you watched the president at that rally, the pre-inauguration rally. That's where a lot of people are hanging out outside, in and around D.C. People entering the Capitol right now, legislators and other guests. You heard Virginia Fox when she was leading the House saying that legislators will get seats and other distinguished getting seats to this event. Others will join as well. This event scheduled to start in a little while. Let's hear from Chris in Maryland, Democrats line. Hi.
Hi. First, I want to say thank you to C-SPAN. And I heard someone earlier call and say this was a historic day. And I want to agree that this is historic because it shows where fraud and white power can get you. And for every Trump supporter that is excited for today, I just want to ask you.
Okay, let me pause you just for a second there. The president and the president-elect entering the Capitol right now. Let's watch a little bit of this.
Good morning, sir. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Thank you.
President Trump, how do you feel? President Biden?
Well,
President and the president-elect entering. You probably saw Minnesota Democrat Amy Klobuchar, too. She was the one leading a team of people in putting today's events together as part of a committee that's in charge of that. Chris, apologies for interrupting. Go ahead and finish your statement.
No problem. What I was saying was my question for every Trump supporter is how is this convicted felon able to rise to the highest government office in the land when other convicted felons cannot even get a job to make ends meet? Thank you.
Peter joins us from New York, Independent Line. Hello.
Yeah, hi. So I felt during this election that we had a false choice. I either had to choose, some geriatric who can't fulfill his promises or a used rapist. So I didn't feel like I had much of a choice there. Plus, with both of them supporting Israel with no real stop to that, I couldn't vote for either of them. I just wish, in an ideal America that our politicians would divorce themselves from Israel and recognize the Palestinian state. I think it's about time. I think that we're funding murder. And sure, we have a ceasefire, but, there's going to be another conflict within a year, if even. The West Bank is living under apartheid, and nothing's changing because You know, they're our greatest ally, but what did they do for us? I honestly ask myself that every day. Because, I mean, when did they become our greatest ally? When they displaced millions of people throughout the Middle East? When they exacted our interests as our attack dog?
Okay.
What have they done for us?
Okay. Chris is next in New York, Syracuse, New York, Republican line.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for taking my call, and happy Martin Luther King Day. I just want to say it's a great day for a lot of people, but there's a lot of different comments and a lot of vitriol coming from other lines to address a comment about separation of church and state earlier. I want to remind everyone, separation of church and state was put in to protect the church and the people to make them able to freely praise and worship who they choose, that to protect them from the government. That's what that's for. Otherwise, I'm very excited to see the Department of Government Efficiency. The money spending we have in this country is out of control. It needs to be fixed. And Donald Trump and the people that he's putting in his cabinet are the only people that are capable of doing that. Take a look outside, everybody. You don't have to watch the news every day. You don't have to let them tell you what to think. Go outside and touch some grass. It'll be okay. Make your own decisions. That's important nowadays.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Members of the president's hopeful cabinet, once they get confirmation, making their way into the ceremony as well. Vivek Ramaswamy and others, including Kash Patel, coming in and getting their seats. Kevin Hassett there on the right of your screen to serve in matters of economics for the president, and Tulsi Gabbard as well. Hoping to become the next director of national intelligence. Graham in Jersey City, New Jersey, Democrats line.
Hi, I want to wish everyone a happy MLK Day. I hope everyone's staying warm. A bit disappointed how the election turned out. I think it would have been great to see a female president inaugurated today. While I'm disappointed in the American people and their desire to see another 4 years of Trump, I'm a bit more disappointed in the selection committee for not picking Alabama for the college football playoff finals, and instead picking inferior teams like SMU and Indiana. Truly dark times in America.
Okay. Graham there. We've got pictures of more of the president's hopeful cabinet. You heard John McArdle say that Marco Rubio expected a vote on his becoming Secretary of State expected today. Others to follow as well when the president hopefully will get members of his cabinet appointed by the Senate or confirmed by the Senate. Sonia in California, independent line. Hi.
Hi, good morning. I just wanted to remind everyone how we spend our time, what we're watching on the television or what we're spending our money on is just as much of a message sender as any screaming can be. If corporations are going to be running us right now, we can choose to buy local, to pay attention to our local artists or our local farmers, buying less from Amazon, paying less attention to Donald Trump on the YouTubes and the views. How we spend our time, period, can send a big message. And I just wanted to remind people that when it feels a little like you don't know what to do, just pay attention to where you're spending your money and spending your time.
Avant from Baltimore, Maryland, Republican line.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for taking my call. I just want to say it's a lot of Democrats that need to put their hands behind their back. And it was a lot during the elections. Sobriety tests should have been done. There's a lot of hands behind their back action. Hey, I support Trump. I support the trucking industry. I am a trucker, and I would like to see the economy just shoot right back up, man. And shout out to the inauguration today, and hopefully everything goes well. Everything will go well, and let's get this economy back. Let's get that border built, and let's go. Let's go, America. Let's go.
From a viewer in San Diego, California, former Vice President Mike Pence making his way into the Capitol Rotunda. Again, once serving with the former president. Let's see a little bit of this.
Trying to catch her eye.
It was a quick shot of Mike Pence making his way into the Capitol building there, others making their way too. This is from San Diego, Democrats line. This is Rain. Hello.
Hello. I just wanted to say I noticed a lot of people are talking about different policies, And especially during the Trump administration and a lot of his advertisements, he was exclusively very anti-trans. And I noticed a lot of people put their 2 cents in on this problem, but haven't actually had experience with transgender people or, for the most, even met one. And as a transgender person, I think it is incredibly upsetting that we are used as an example and used as a device to get people to be scared of us when we're really just other people trying to live. And I'm just hopeful that certain choices don't make our lives a lot harder. And, you know, I'm hopeful that Trump does okay, but again, I cannot support him for how much he hurts others around me and just how he destroys a lot